Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. My name is Abby, or Spaceman Chuck, and today we are going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 4, directed by Chad Stahelski. Chad Stahelski, Keanu Reeves, and crew have done it yet again. Not only is John Wick Chapter 4 the best of the bunch, it joins Mad Max Fury Road and Mission Impossible Fallout as absolute modern action classics. Chapter 4 defines what it means to be a blockbuster within an industry that seems to have forgotten the meaning of the word up until recently. Featuring some of the most insanely choreographed stunts you've ever seen, this damn near 3-hour joyride is exhilarating every step of the way. For a film of this length, it's incredibly difficult to keep a steady momentum going, but Stahelski handles it with such grace. I genuinely would not have minded another hour of the Baba Yaga marking a plethora of goons over another neon-tinted backdrop. Shamir Anderson, Scott Adkins, Hiroyuki Sanada, Rina Sawayama, and Donnie Yen consistently steal the show, while Stahelski balances such a tightrope of a stat cast with innate precision. With three predecessors that have already sufficed in terms of spectacle and action choreography, John Wick Chapter 4 takes it to another level I didn't think possible, and it's genuinely awe-inspiring. John Wick Chapter 4 is relentlessly cool. The film opens with a Lawrence of Arabia match cut, while Mr. Wick proceeds to kill the Elder in an attempt to exact his revenge on the High Table, the secret organization responsible for keeping him shackled to his former duties. This garners the attention of the Marquis Vincent de Gramont, played by Bill Skarsgård, a senior member of the High Table who has been given an unlimited amount of assets to put an end to John Wick. What ensues is one of the most adrenaline-induced action movies put to screen. As John Wick seeks refuge in Osaka, Berlin, and Paris, this globe-trotting action epic never once feels like a chore, consistently ramping up to its jaw-dropping final hour. In Japan, John Wick attempts to find a hideaway at the Osaka Continental, run by his old friend Shimazu Koji, played by Hiroyuki Sanada. His daughter and hotel concierge, Akira, played by Rina Sawayama, is adamant of her father's assistance with Mr. Wick's attempts in taking down the High Table. When the Marquis and Kane, played by Donnie Yen, a blind assassin forced to take down Wick, come barging through the front doors, the film truly kicks into gear. Sanada and Yen prove why they are legends in their own respective fields, and Sawayama gives a damn good reason why she should be a movie star. Gorgeously lit long takes and staggeringly intricate action choreography kick off the first act, and every set piece feels more elaborate than the last. Oh, the film doesn't necessarily stray away from predictability in its narrative endeavors. It more than makes up for it by honing in on what makes the franchise so special in the first place. However, though the Osaka portion of the film is fantastic, it oddly feels disjointed from the rest of the feature. Though Akira's arc feels emotionally resonant, it doesn't necessarily feel conclusive as she is sent off, mostly opening up the doors for a possible spin-off instead of cohesively working her into this story at hand. Chapter 4, however, does shine a bright and necessary spotlight on Kane, giving him an arc to save his daughter, allows his family man personality to mirror that of Wick's, catapulting him back into a life that he wants no part of. His disdain for the High Table feels warranted and allows this frenemy narrative, for lack of a better word, to build with John Wick so efficiently. Wick and Kane's mutual respect for one another allows so many beats to hit so succinctly, while Reeves and Yen manage to do so with such charismatic grace, even when they're barely speaking a word. The franchise has never shied away from its goofy antics, and Chapter 4 is no different. This is a film you're supposed to laugh and cheer for amidst the cartoonish killings that would arguably allow these movies to be classified as superhero films as well. And even by that regard, it is a blatant breath of fresh air. The humor is genuine, whether it's through slapstick or dialogue, and it's peculiar to note that while David Leitch has doubled down on his Deadpool-adjacent comedy, Stahelski has far outgrown that era and has evolved his style into an entirely new beast of his own. There is an innate level of sleekness and charm that oozes through every single beat of this. It's a cinematic achievement that has been stuck in my head ever since my first viewing, begging me for a rewatch before it's booted out of theaters by two Chris Pratt-led blockbusters. This final chapter nails the simple yet effective themes that the franchise has been working with thus far, mirroring that of the original film that feels necessary in a conclusive installment. From the spoiled rich kid antagonist to man's best friend. This is an action film that has already been cemented in history, and a blockbuster that arrives just in time to remind audiences what that word even means anymore. So yeah guys, as you can tell, I am a huge fan of this movie. I'm gonna have to give John Wick Chapter 4 a 4 out of 5 stars. It may increase with more viewings. I was supposed to watch it last week and I was hoping I could go through it again and maybe rework my review, but that didn't happen. I'm gonna watch it this weekend again though, so who knows, maybe that rating will increase, maybe I'll like it even more. I just think it's an amazing action film all around. It's just such a genuinely exciting time in the theaters, and even that runtime didn't bother me at all. I kind of wanted it to keep going after a certain point, even when it ended. Reeves is amazing, Ian McShane is amazing, Donnie Yen is amazing, Lance Reddick is amazing. This is not just a movie I'm gonna revisit every time, this is a franchise I'm gonna be revisiting for the rest of my life. When I think of modern action movies, I think of Mission Impossible and I think of John Wick. There is no one out there doing this like Christopher McQuarrie and Chad Stahelski. These are the only two guys who actually are putting care and attention into these action movies they're putting out. Not just bombarding every scene with CGI, but legitimately looking at every scene and the choreography and how it's going to impact the audience. They're not taking the easy route out for these movies. They're making sure that they're getting their artistic vision out on display for the world to see. And it's beautiful. I cannot recommend this movie enough. Even if you're not a fan of action per se, this is just a damn good film. Go check it out in theaters. This is a movie that deserves a ton of money. I don't know what they're doing with the franchise next. I hope that they don't oversaturate it with a bunch of crappy spin-offs, but at least we have these core 4 movies that are perfect in their own way. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Abby, or Spaceman Chuck. If you liked the review, leave a like, subscribe, it really helps me out. But until then, I'll see you next time.